Hi, my name is Christina Lorey, and today I'm here with Tim Beckman, head coach of the University of Illinois football team. So, Coach, I just wanted to reflect a little bit on growing up first.
Sure.
I know that your father, David Beckman, he coached in the Canadian Football League, so you grew up around football.
I've been around football my whole life. I always tell when we're out recruiting, I always tell that, well, I've got 49 years experience as being a football coach because I grew up in the profession. Dad coached in high school, he coached in the Big Ten, he coached in the NFL, he coached in the CFL. So I've been able to get a taste of each one of them.
So what's your earliest football-related memory?
Oh my goodness, my initials are Timothy David, and that's TD for touchdown. My brother's Theodore David, TD for touchdown. My oldest is Tyler David, TD for touchdown, and my youngest is Patrick Alexander. He's my point after. My wife came up with that, but I would have to say from the start. I mean, going as a 2, 3, 4-year-old, going to watch my dad's practices, my mom taking me to every one of his practices. That's where we saw Dad because he was so busy with football. Up till driving in cars, a little gremlin we had, and driving to every, he coached at Iowa, to every Iowa practice, and going out and catching punts for the punters and shagging balls for the kickers and standing on the sidelines playing Army against the football team as they practice, hiding behind dummies and all that stuff. That was something that we always did as a family, and I guess that's why I chose to be a coach.
So did you know from that very young age that you always wanted to be a coach?
Always.
There's no question.
And I credit my mother because my mother gave me opportunities to go watch my father. I saw smiles on my father's face. I saw, Dad was an offensive line coach, so he'd bring the offensive line over to eat on Thursday night, and we'd play Pong, the old Pong game, and I'd beat him and talk smack to him and all that stuff. But I saw how much my family loved it. My mother loved being a coach's wife. My dad loved being around, student athletes. It was very important to him, and it's kind of a no-brainer when I was growing up that this is what I wanted to be.
And how did you choose college in particular? Because your father did coach in Canada too,
Sure.
or as opposed to coaching in the NFL maybe?
I've always enjoyed being around 18 to 22-year-olds. I think my job as a football coach is not just football, but is helping student athletes or football student athletes achieve their goals in life, if that's on the football field or off the football field. I've had some very influential people involved in my life as a football coach and as a player. And I learned a lot from them on more than just X's and O's, as they say. It's more about building relationships and being around your players. It's a lifelong commitment. It's a lifelong relationship. It's not just a 4-year relationship.
And it's nice you're able to pass that on because you learned it from your father.
Oh, that's been huge. I still hear from guys that I coached when I first got in this profession, and I still hear from guys that are now playing in the NFL that I might have coached at another university. We constantly stay in touch with one another, and they're telling me about their family, they're telling me about their football. One just had a baby girl, those types of things. That to me is what coaching's all about.
Wow. And so you've had a 26-year coaching career, and you've been at 8 different schools. What's the most exciting part, and what's the most challenging part of moving from team to team?
Well, the most exciting part is this is a new chapter in your life. I've tried to make it as I guess, challenging part would be is moving the kids. One of the things my father always did for me, and I've done it for my children, is I let my children pick their school that they want to go to, so that they're involved in the move. They have a feel that, hey, Dad, if you could get a house in this neighborhood because I can go to this school. That's the reason that we do those things, so that they're a part of the decision making when we do move. And though it's challenging, I want to get them here as quickly as I can so they can meet the people in this community and meet my wife can be with us and be just as involved as she is in everyday life.
So what attracted you to come and take your family to Illinois?
Big Ten, it was always a dream. I'm a Midwest guy. My father, of course, coached in the Big Ten. I remember, even coming to Champaign when he was with that other team, and coaching here and standing in the stands with my mother, watching it. It's always been a dream. The dream of mine has always been to be a head football coach in the Big Ten. The opportunity came about, I believe, in Mike Thomas. I thought he was excellent at the places that he's been at. This program speaks for itself academically as one of the top institutions in the world. So it was really kind of a no-brainer, as they say.
And so this is the beginning of your third season coaching here, and for the past 2 years, Illinois has fallen just short of qualifying for bowl games. Have you done anything different going into this year? You're certainly off to a wonderful start. Have you changed anything about practices or your coaching?
We really haven't, and other than I always kid around with my wife because in December she locks the door if we're not going to any bowl games, and we've been blessed about going to a lot of bowl games in our career, and I, most blessed about coaching in a national championship game. I mean, not everybody gets to do that. We didn't perform the way we wanted to, but at least we got to do that. So the biggest thing that I think about those games is to be able to look at your players in the eyes, because they get to experience a reward for all the hard work that they've done by giving themselves another opportunity to go somewhere where they might never get to go to in their life and go play the game of football. So I take it personally. I want our players to experience those things. I've been blessed to experience them myself, so I would love to give that opportunity to each one of our players.
And so far, what has been the most memorable game for you coaching here at Illinois?
Well, the first one was the most, the win against Western Michigan. I mean, of course, was, because it was a dream. You come running out of a tunnel. You remember when you were 4 years old and standing on the sidelines watching Dad, and you knew that this is what you wanted to do, and you run out of the tunnel and you see it, and now you're living it. And I think that's probably the most rewarding. My family's here, and my dad comes, stays with us for 4, 5, 6 weeks, stays a Rand tour with me, so we get to experience that as a father and son.
Does he get to stand along you on the sideline?
No, he's up in the press box.
Okay.
My oldest son has been a big part of this too. He's done with his football career, so he's been back. And my youngest son is playing ball down at Urbana, so I get to go watch him play every Friday night that we're not traveling. So, football is very, very important to our family because it's been the backbone of our family. And it goes from one generation, my father, down to me, and now it's going to my kids. And I see it in their eyes that they would like to pursue this profession because it's such a rewarding profession, seeing, student athletes be successful.
Is it hard for you or your dad to restrain yourself when you're a fan and not a coach?
Oh yeah, he's in there all the time. He gives his pointers from how long of a break we have in between timeouts with the kids on the field. He's got a lot of experience and some great experience with some great coaches. So that all comes kind of hand in hand when you're a part of it, and your dad's been a part of it.
Yeah, sometimes you probably want to say, I've been doing this for 26 years.
Yeah, sometimes you say that. But he's always got the little tidbit that's you know what, Dad, you're right. Just as, I'm sure somebody's father that's a doctor and then the son becomes a doctor. There's some things that he knows, and he's been very successful with himself being a coach. So you definitely listen.
And is there anything unique about coaching here at Illinois as opposed to the other schools you've been at?
Well, the people in this community are tremendous. I mean, just I have been in a program where sometimes you don't, you still win, but it's hard to go out and maybe get a bite to eat with your wife. This community has been so refreshing. And we didn't have a good year at all that first year, and it was tough. But I think that this community embraces this university, understands how important this university is to this community, and you see a specialness with that.
And I just wanted to end with a few, if you could just complete the sentence, I'll just begin it. And you
Okay,
can
those are
fill
always
in.
my toughest, but go ahead.
Okay, well, there's no right or wrong answer. But just, I'm most proud of my players
When they're successful, I mean, that's a W, but that's also an A. That's also being in the community, so being successful.
And what about, I wish more players would?
That's a good one. Probably cherish the moment.
And Illinois fans are,
They've been super. They really have. Of course, we want Memorial Stadium more packed, but we know that comes with winning, and we know that's about to come.
yeah, it's on the way there.
That's exactly right.
And I hope to coach at Illinois
Until I die. I mean, this has been something that I've always wanted to do. I don't want to do anything else. I've always wanted to be in a Big Ten university. This university gave me the opportunity. I don't need to go anywhere else.
I'm sure that's something that everyone wants to hear.
Sure.
And my coaching legacy at Illinois will be?
Just respect for our program and our team and our players. They've earned it, and we got it.
And last one, my favorite colors are?
Orange and blue.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah.
You passed. Thank you so much for speaking with me,
Thank
Coach.
you so much.
And thank you all for watching. Go Illini.
Oh, gotta turn it off.